Welcome to this week market recap. Whoa, look at that. What do you see? A ginormous, humongous bullish candle on BTC. The daily time frame. What is going on? Look at this candle. About to burst through my screen. Okay, let's get back to business. As you can see, the daily time frame. I was actually waiting for this daily time frame to shift bearish before I'll be interested in taking the trade to the downside. Let me zoom in so that you see it clearly. Okay, this is the higher high and this is the higher low. You see, I was waiting for a body close below here, then a retest of this zone before I'll be able to take the trade to the downside. But behold, you see we are bullish here. Price just weak below this higher low and continue this massive move all the way from 62 to Jesus to almost 80k. Wow, that was nice. So the buyers have changed. We'll be looking for how to buy on next week. So that is what market did on BTC this week. Okay, so next on the list is gold. So gold is also bullish. Okay, this was the higher high, this was the higher low. So I wanted for this week retest. You can see I do this for this candle to give me the week before I continue the buy to the upside. On the weekly time frame, we actually retested, we came back, we retested, and we have the push, and I missed it. Look at what happened. On the 4-hour time frame, we were bearish here on the 4-hour, we're bullish on the 4-hour time frame. This is the higher high, the higher low, because this candle did not body close below this zone, below this higher low. Okay, so immediately we have the push. So I'm waiting for this pullback to this place here before we continue buy to the upside. He never came back. So when he came back here, he never came back here. So when he came back here, I was not active. I was not active when he came back here. Okay, if not, I would have sniped this shit out of it. Even if I take it here, put my stop loss below this week. Okay, this way I would have taken my profits. Okay, I won't have held up. Why? Because if we go to the daily time frame, that is support and resistance zone, the zone that price can react from. Okay, the closest zone price can react from. You see, so this is a very better zone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and it's likely to repeat it again. So I would have just taken my profit here. But I missed it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, no problem. Let's go to the currency pair. So the currency pair, the first one on the list is AUD-NZD. So AUD-NZD, the weekly time frame, we are bearish on the weekly time frame. Lower low, lower high. So if we go down to the daily time frame, you see that we are also bearish here. Lower low, lower high. We already have this push, and we already have this was Friday candle. So I'm waiting for this pullback to this place here. Right like this, waiting for pullback to this zone before I sell. It did not happen. On Monday, it did not happen. It actually slowed down here. On Tuesday, it actually pulled back to the zone. So if we go down to 4-hour time frame, you see, I'm waiting for pullback here. Waiting for pullback here, which never happened. Okay, we now shifted bullish on the 4-hour time frame. No problem. I can still take the trade. Okay, so when we are above here, I now went to when we are inside here, inside this zone, I went to the lower time frame to look for entry, to look for shift of structure and engulfing candle. Okay, so it will happen. So we have the shift of structure here. You see, this is the higher low. We have the shift of structure here, but behold, we are still inside. We are still on above the zone, so price can use it as support and push to the upside. Okay, so immediately we have this shift. We came down. We have a push up. on this candle, if you look down, this is ending of London session, ending of New York session, sorry, almost the beginning of Asia or Sydney, whatever. So what happened here was that immediately you have this candle, is not on my window, my trading window, and I could not take it. So we now shifted structure again to become bullish, higher high, higher low. So immediately we shift structure, we now became bullish on this pullback, on this morning star little pullback, retesting this zone here, on this pullback. See the time, 4 a.m. And ladies and gentlemen, I missed this trade. And see the push. Clean trade to my area of interest, to my ideal area, my ideal TP zone. Why? Because of this place here. You see, price have respected it 3 times in the past. 1, 2, 3, and it's likely to happen again, and that is exactly what happened. I missed it. So because I did not take the trade, I'll remove the risk to reward. Okay. So moving on to NZD card. NZD card on the weekly time frame. Although we are overall bullish on the weekly time frame, this is the higher high, higher low. So on this internal structure, I call this internal structure because of anything that happened in between here, in between this higher high and this higher low, is internal structure. Okay, and we can still trade it because there's still higher high and higher low forming inside the consolidation. Okay, so now this was the higher high, this was the higher low. So price came back here and I was anticipating the continuation by to the upside. This is weekly time frame. So if we go to daily time frame, it's more clearer. Okay, this was the higher high, this was the higher low, and Friday candle created the bullish engulfing candle. Okay, so I was waiting for this Monday candle to be placed back here before we continue the buy to the upside. Okay, so let's go to 4-hour time frame. Let me show you. Okay, this is what I expected. I wanted it to do, but we already have the push to the upside. Okay, so I wanted it to retest here to give me an entry signal here before I take the trade to the upside, because what do you see here? We shifted structure and we are bullish. This was the lower low and this was the lower high. So immediately it broke, became bullish, higher low, higher high. Okay, so I'm waiting for this higher low and engulfing candle, higher low, and I'll go to the lower time frame, or we can have a morning star. If this candle would have been a bullish candle engulfing this, it will be a morning star. So I would have taken the trade here, something like this. Then my stop will still be somewhere here, or probably this would have taken me out. This trade would have taken me out. That will wick me out and start heading to my profit. Okay, because of this, I avoided this loss. Okay, I avoided this loss. See, on this pullback, we now became bearish because we broke below this low. We now became bearish. Lower high, lower low. So immediately we shift bullish and I say, okay, this is good. Okay, so I'm waiting for the same retest here. Same retest here before we have the push to the upside. Okay, so we came back and the retest was sharp. This candle was sharp. It was sharp, and I can't start chasing the trade here because this is a good entry, which is 4 hours. But if we go down to the lower time frame, we have the clear entry signal. Okay, on the lower time frame. Okay, so on that pullback that I was waiting for, that on this is 30-minute time frame. So this was the lower low, and this was the lower high. So immediately we shift structure because this candle body closed above there to shift the structure. Now became the higher high, higher low. So on this pullback and this engulfing candle, you see, the engulfing candle happened outside my window, something like this. It happened outside my trading window. So, and it's not my trade. If we go down to the 1 hour, see outside my window, even if it's one, if I want to put it like this, this is a clear rejection morning star formation. Okay, and behold, outside my window. So that is why I did not take the trade. Okay, but the predicted direction was there. Okay, after this liquidity grab. Okay, so still yet the price will still continue moving up to break above this higher high. Okay, so that's what happened on this pair. So moving on to DPP NZD. So DPP NZD is another missed trade, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of missed entry this week. Okay, well, this one is more like a high risk trade. You get, is a counter trend trade, more like trading the weekly pullback. You get, because this was my idea. behind this trade. Okay, this is 1 rejection, 2 rejection, 3 rejection, 4 rejection. Okay, so price broke above, it now became higher high, higher low. So anticipating for price to come down here, use it as support to continue the push to the upside. But behold, price broke and came back and retested. Although this is a morning star formation, but the morning star formation is invalid because of where it is. Why? Because whenever we are under this zone, we come back, retest it, and we have the push to the downside. We come back, retest it, we have the push to the downside. Okay, and you see, whenever we are under, we retest it, have the push to the downside, retest, have the push to the downside. So it's likely to happen here. And if I want to trade the counter trend trade, okay, on the daily time frame now, this will be my next TP. Okay, because we are bearish on the daily time frame, lower low, lower high. Okay, so immediately we have this break. I was waiting for the pullback, rejection, and so on. Behold, it happened exactly as anticipated. So on the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame was bearish, so I'm waiting for this pullback, rejection, to have the sell to the downside. The same thing when price was there. If you go down to the lower time frame, see, go down to the lower time frame. This is a missed trade. Not give me pullback that I needed. See, it is where the shift of structure and the engulfing happened. Yeah, this was the higher high, higher low, higher high. It was the higher high. This was the higher low. The immediately price but closed, we now shifted structure. Okay, we have a pullback. You see the first entry, this signal. But you see the thing is above this zone, so I can't enter here. I can still use it as support and push the trade to the upside. So immediately it broke below here. Okay, we are still above here. It's not something I want to enter. Now say okay, if price should break here, if price should come like this, just to test this zone here, something like this, then I'll be able to take the trade to the downside. Okay, the break here, retest here, then I'll take the trade to the downside. There's something like this. You see, and it never happened. That's never happened. Also, if we go down to the 1-hour time frame, the same thing. Yet, if price would have come back here to the test here like this, then I'll be able to take the trade to the downside. But price did not come back. So immediately we have the structure around here. So it started pushing to the downside. So that's why I missed this trade. Also missed this trade, but my predicted direction was correct. Okay, so that's what market did on DPP NZD. You see, clean sell to the downside. Okay, so Euro AUD. So Euro AUD on the weekly time frame, we are bullish on the weekly time frame. Okay, we are clearly bullish on it. And although I was expecting this candle to be a bullish candle, but at the same time, I have a red flag. I have a very big red flag on this trade, even if that candle is bullish. Okay, why? Because on this time frame we are bullish. You can see this is a higher low. The price came down, create morning star, give us rejection, give us more like doji around here, because this is a respected zone. If you go to the left hand side, it's a respected zone. So price is likely to use this place again as support, push it to the upside. Okay, and also the daily time frame also bullish. Okay, I was waiting for bullish candle to form here like this, then I'll wait for the next day retest of the week. Once this bullish candle form, now wait for the next day retest week before I'm interested to take the trade upside. Okay, but it never happened. Behold, immediately Monday candle closed and now became bearish. But towards the week it now broke above here. So coming back to the test here, it now broke the zone again. And let me tell you why this candle was bearish. I know why it's bearish. You know why? Because if you go down to the monthly time frame, the monthly time frame is bearish, and price is at a resistance zone. You get, this is the lower low and this is the lower high. So price broke here, retest here, use it as support, then use it as resistance, rejecting EMA, okay, rejecting previous structure point, and is likely to break here to create a new lower low. Okay, that is why I had a turn off on this trade here. Okay, I just added it to my watch to see what it does, what it will do, and behold, the daily time frame did not give me what I want, so I avoided this loss. Okay, second loss I avoided. So the next one is AUD JPY. So JPY, we're waiting for the break here on the lower time frame, 4 hour. Actually, we created Immediately we created this evening star formation here. So I'm waiting for the break on the 4 hour here, this candle. We're waiting for the break and retest here, the 4 hour. The break retest here before I've been interested to sell. So it never happened. Another loss avoided. So GJ. So DJ is also the same thing. Okay. So I was waiting for this break here, and retest here. It never happened. Loss avoided. JPY, same thing. I was waiting for this break. We have the break. I was waiting for this break. We have the break. So on this pullback, it did not slow down. Another loss avoided. So Euro GPP. So Euro GPP on the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame, we are bearish on the weekly time frame. Okay, this is the lower low, lower high. Price is around this zone here with an engulfing candle. Last week engulfing candle. So on this week, I was expecting this pullback to continue the sell to the downside. But if we go down to the daily time frame, okay, the daily time frame is bullish. Okay, so immediately we have this pullback. Here, so it's Monday candle. So I'm expecting this continuous sell to the downside. Okay, yes, this is bullish, but on the internal structure, we are bearish. Okay, this is a high risk trade. The internal structure, we are bearish, and I'm not surprised that price broke here to continue the bullish momentum. Then use it here as support. Then we have a push to the upside. Okay, because this is the weekly area of interest. Okay, because if we are bearish here, if you are bearish and price want to retrace back to the area of interest, the daily time frame will be bullish, and that's exactly what is happening. Because this is the head and shoulder, left, multiple head, left, multiple. This is the head, multiple left head, multiple right shoulder. We have already broken the neckline, so it's likely to retest this zone before we have the push to the downside. Okay, so that is what is happening on the daily time frame. Because on that pullback to happen, the daily time frame will have to be bullish, and that is what is happening. Higher high, market structure. This one did not body close above, so we came down. I was thinking if we have a clear rejection, even star formation, I would have been interested in taking this trade to the downside. Because you see my alert here. See my alert, my alarm here. So I'm waiting for price. If this candle would have body close above below here, so I'll wait for the weekly test our time frame. Because we were bullish here, higher low. So I wanted this candle to just broke here. But somewhere like here, I wanted it to break, and once it break, then I might enter immediately the break or the retest to take the trade to the downside. And behold, it did not break. It just validated it here, and I still expect this price to see push to the upside to here. Okay, to have this push to the upside next week. Okay, because here now we are bullish here. We are bullish on the 4 hour. We are also bullish on the daily time frame. Okay, so we have rejection around here, which is good. If we have rejection, we take the trade to the upside. So the last pair on the list is Euro JPY. So Euro JPY also on the 4 hour time frame. I was waiting for this one. Was not even clear totally. It was not clear. It was not even showing me where to break and retest. So I did not even, I was not, you see it's below, it's at the bottom of the watch list because it did not actually give a clear rejection. It gave a pin bar here, more like a hammer. I call it a pin bar or a hammer. Okay, so if we would have this candle to fill here, then I would have wait for this next candle to have it push to the upside before take the trade to the downside. So ladies and gentlemen, I know this week I've spit a lot of fire. So let me know in the comment section what you think about this analysis. And thank you very much. See you guys in the next video.